As a child, I was very close to my grandparents. They are long gone now, but I have some mementos of them which I treasure. My grandmother left me a porcelain milk pitcher shaped like a cow. The milk pours out of the cow's mouth into your coffee cup. A simple thing, but my grandmother's great-grandparents brought that over from the old country when they came here. I was fascinated by that cow when I was little, and I treasure it to this day because it reminds me of my grandmother. We all love little things that remind us of people who were special to us. It is good to leave a legacy, something we pass on to others. Now, the reading of a will can be a time of bitter family fighting and jealousy. Luckily, in my family, we never had anything like that, simply because there was never any money to fight over. Nevertheless, we still leave things behind for those who follow us. What is our greatest inheritance? In the psalm we have prayed, "You are my inheritance, O Lord." I believe that God bequeaths something unique to each of us. Maybe not a milk pitcher, but some special gifts meant just for you and just for me. This is besides the gifts He leaves to all of us. A beautiful planet to call our home, a heart capable of loving, and a soul capable of rising to new heights. You are my inheritance, O Lord. All of us who have children, natural or spiritual, are going to leave them something. It is good to consider well what it is we will be leaving them. Are we going to leave them money? You could do that, I suppose, but you would do much better leaving that type of thing to your pastor and save the higher things for your children. What do we receive from our parents? Most of us received elements of our looks from them, for better or for worse. Everyone always told me how much I looked like my mother, until they met my father, and then they weren't sure which one I resembled most. Neither of them could have denied me. We pass on something of our physical selves to those who come after. But there are so many other things you leave to your children, your values, your wisdom, your way of seeing things and doing things. Each of us is formed by our own experiences, but each of us builds on the collective experiences of those who went before us. When President Kennedy was in office, he was showing off his little daughter Caroline to his own father, old Joe Kennedy. "Isn't she adorable? Isn't she bright?" The grandfather remarked, "I must tell you, Jack, she is much brighter than you were at that age." "Yes," said John, "but look who she has for a father." What kind of a world do we want to pass on to our children? A world of peace and understanding and brotherhood? Or a world ravaged by war and poverty and hunger? Consider well the legacy we are leaving behind. Irish playwright George Bernard Shaw was a brilliant man, but not good-looking at all. The beautiful actress and dancer Isadora Duncan was interested in the playwright and said to him, "Think of the wonderful baby we could have with your brains and my looks." Shaw replied, "But what if it receives my looks and your brains?" We never know what our children will pick up from us. Don't be afraid to give them a foundation in faith as well. Some parents do not wish to raise their children in any faith, saying that they should decide their own faith when they are old enough. That's understandable on one level, but it's like saying you're not going to teach your children to talk because you want them to pick out their own language. You have to give them a foundation. They might eventually not believe the same way that you do, but that's okay. I don't believe the same way I did yesterday. We grow with experience, and our faith, our way of seeing things, changes, evolves, develops. We are all a work in progress, but we need a foundation on which to build. Don't deprive your children of that. Don't deprive them of the most precious thing in your life and theirs. We were 6 children in our family, and we all received the same foundation, yet each of us has done something entirely different with it. But the all-important foundation is there. When you think of what your legacy will be, don't leave out that foundation. Don't leave out wisdom or acceptance or unconditional love. Don't leave out a warm smile, a tender embrace, a good sense of humor. In a word, don't leave out God. For you are my inheritance, O Lord.